people to listen to the next piece of this because the instructions are just a tad complicated. The instructions are a little complicated. Anyway, you will notice that there are photographs on your tables, right? Hold that thought, they should be standing up. What we're going to do is go into Matt's serendipitous business planning exercise. There are really three purposes for the exercise. That's okay if I give the overview? Sure. The purposes are really to get everybody engaged in a very creative business planning process, which is going to be in a very short amount of time. The second purpose is to have you all redivide into kind of affinity work groups, which will carry over into the future work of everything that's going on in Merced. And then the third purpose will be to have us as a group prioritize three primary things that we want to be working on. So just hold those thoughts. Is that clear to everybody? Okay, we're good? All right. So what we want you to do is, and you're going to have 3 or 4 minutes to do this, pick up all your belongings and your bottles of water, walk around the room and look at the photographs, seat yourself at the table with the photograph that appeals to you, whether it's from a head place or a heart place or all of those places. What we want to ask you to do before I hand this microphone over to Matt is to introduce yourself to everybody at your table, briefly name, organization, and why you chose to sit at that table with that particular photograph. What's your skin in the game? What's your stake in that photograph? And then I'll hand the mic over to Matt, who's going to explain how to do the exercise. Okay? And you'll have 3 or 4 minutes to do that.
And we did this incredible session where Matt was one of the presenters. And he shared with us, who were in the audience, the idea of this particular, of the serendipitous business planning generator. And we thought it was fantastic. We thought it would be a great idea to do sort of business planning from a really creative, innovative design thing. So I raced right after the session up to Matt and I said, Matt, do you want to pilot your thing at our social enterprise conference? And he goes, sure, when? And like, next week, Saturday. And he agreed, and it just turned out that he's based in LA, so it was wonderful because we Skyped him in yesterday, finalized really the elements of the idea, and he's been really great. And he's also agreed to sort of do one slight change to the way he does his things, and that is, we discussed the possibility of using photos from around Merced so that we could localize, because we wanted this whole idea of like, how do we bring all these ideas to Merced? And so just for the moment, I want Marisol and Sarah to stand up, please, and to thank them so much for within basically 48 hours taking over 50 pictures of Merced, and then the planning team and Matt all selecting the ones that you see on the table. So it's been a very dynamic, incredibly innovative process putting this conference together. Thank you to everyone, Sarah, Marisol, they're amazing, and also the other 2 UC students who are here, Maria, who had to leave, and then Michelle, who got added to the team. Michelle, are you here? She's over there. So they have been incredible. So Matt, maybe you can tell us a little bit about sort of your background. You're an entrepreneur who runs a very nice design studio. Doesn't that sound really nice? Thank you.
Yeah, I thought I'd give a little bit of background, because you're all probably wondering why is this 23-year-old kid telling you what to do. So in 2009, I started a social enterprise, a graphic design studio. And the original idea of it was to make it 100% pro bono, essentially creating the first nonprofit graphic design studio. That slowly evolved into this after being introduced into the idea of social business and social entrepreneurship to sort of strike a balance between pro bono work and for-profit work. So now we are a digital network of about 60 volunteers spanning 6 continents around the world that are working on projects with nonprofits. To this day, we've helped 125 organizations and we've worked with over 250 accounts in total, including names like Facebook, Disney, Amnesty International, HRC, all over the gamut. So with that, I'm going to give you a little bit of a background on sort of what you guys are going to be doing today, with a little bit of starting a bit with an argument, I guess, which spans off of this timeline right here. So in this timeline, I'm saying that we are right here. And so essentially we're in a big cone. And what this cone is made up of is two lines that are going this way. What this line is future possibilities, and what this line is present capabilities. So what it's showing is that as we go through time, innovation will become more and more complicated because those two things will become more and more divided, causing this gap right here. So what I'm interested in is creating new methodologies and new processes to approaching the ideas behind business and where the ideas behind enterprises come from. And the purpose of which is to fill this gap and make that more easy to innovate. So what you guys are doing is the first of a lot of these experimental models that I'm planning to work on this year, which is called the Serendipitous Business Model Generator. And where that came from originally was a card game, and you guys essentially have a newly adapted version of that to work in this type of setting. And what it has is there's three components. The first is the modify element, and that is the photograph that you see on your table that you guys have all just been talking about. So what that is that's an existing space, an existing product, an existing market, industry, something that is tangible right here, and in this case right here in Merced. And this is essentially the space in which you'll be building your business on today in this exercise. And that doesn't have to be taken literally. It doesn't have to, if you got an image of an empty lot or of some zebras, you don't literally have to have it right in that spot, but it should be in conversation with that or in relationship to that. The second part, which you guys can now turn the two blue pieces of paper over. On one of those sheets, you'll see a piece of paper that says, it looks like this. It says opportunity one way, and it says scenario the other way. So these are the other two L components of this exercise. The opportunity is the emerging opportunities and advancements that you want to take advantage of and consider when you're conceptualizing your business plan. So these are trending topics, these are sort of recent technological advancements, and so on that you want to tap into as your opportunity for your new enterprise that you're starting today. On the other side is the scenario, and this is the situation in which you are starting your business. This element will give you insight into the state of the economy and the technological advancement that you're dealing with. So for example, some of you might have constraint, which is survival with low capital. So how can you come up with an idea that takes advantage of this existing element and this opportunity with low capital? So these are sort of the three components that will hopefully spark interesting conversation and ideas amongst you. And then this second sheet right here is a template for a very basic business plan. And this is essentially where one of you will be kind of assigned as the note taker, will be jotting down the notes of your actual business. So no matter how strange the combinations you may have received are, you're going to play it straight into this template. And then after all of that is done, we'll remind you again, but you'll basically be pitching the business to the audience. So that can be as a group, or you can elect an individual to do that. And then something will come after that, but we'll leave it at that for now. Sound good?
30 minutes, right?
And you have 30 minutes to come up with this business. So think fast, and I would encourage you to not be so practical, but to be very imaginative, because if you're not, that's what will keep you in this part of the cone. You want to think incomplete, not to be cliche and say out of the box, but to be out of the box with the ideas. So really pushing beyond what's possible today as a way to think about how we can evolve this practice. Are there any questions before we start with the 30 minutes? Yeah? Okay, then go ahead and begin, and maybe I'll give a 15-minute warning.
I think we can follow that. The first one is, first we have to
So, I'll read. The situation with your starting this element of the inside of the state of the economy.
take all those and then you package them.
Consider the economic
Emerging opportunities.
All right, it's time to begin the business pitches. Is everybody ready? No? Ready enough?
Ready enough. She's ready. Michelle.
Okay. So I would like to invite this group to present their business first. And what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be taking notes on each of these presentations. Each team or each business is going to have one of these sheets of notes. I'm going to post those, or somebody's going to post them up on the wall. And we're all going to vote with stickers which business we think, I guess, is the best or more viable. I don't know really what the criteria is. What do you think, Monica? For voting on the businesses, it's just kind of your favorite. Okay, yeah. Everybody get that? So the best, so you're voting for the business that you think would be best for Merced, or just the best idea, best pitches of an idea. So it's sort of up to you, your own criteria, but just keep that in mind. And I'm sure you can vote for yourself. You can vote for yourself. Okay, so with that, I'll invite the first group up.